Welcome to the PCO podcast. In this podcast, we share information and tips with international companies that want to establish themselves in the Netherlands. Information about the Dutch labour market, trends and topics, laws and regulations, Dutch tax and legal information, sales and marketing strategies, schools for the children of expats, and much, much more. In each episode, we will briefly address a specific topic. PCO, Pro-Job Company Onboarding, is a network of cooperating Dutch and international companies that support immigrating international companies with their onboarding in the Dutch economy and labour market. My name is Marieke Kramer, and in this episode I will talk with Els Brouwer about the Dutch labour market. We both work at PCO as the founders and coordinators of this network, but also at ProJob as labour market specialists. Today it's about average salary indications, minimum wages, model income, and income per region. Let's say the company has not yet moved to the Netherlands, perhaps still needs to find a location. In this phase, it's important to have the right and complete information about the Dutch labour market. Why is that important, Els?
Well, Marieke, that is important because the Netherlands appears to be a small country, but knows big differences when we talk about topics such as salary indications. The location of your company can make a difference when it comes to the salary expectations of job seekers. The municipalities with the highest average salaries are located in North Holland, South Holland and Utrecht. Regions like Groningen or Drenthe pay lower salaries. And in the Netherlands we also talk about a model income. But what do we mean by that? The government often uses the term model income. That's the most common individual income over the whole country and is therefore not the same as a median income. When we talk about the most common income or the model income in the Netherlands in 2020, we are talking about approximately 36,500 gross per year, including holiday allowance. By law, we also know a minimum wage. The minimum wage we also call the minimum social income. The social minimum is the amount that is thought to be the minimum amount of money you need to live on. However, there are differences in this minimum wage, depending on age. Under 20 years of age, you speak of a minimum youth wage. So, as an employer, you must be aware of the tables of the minimum wages, because you are legally not allowed to pay less. Also pay attention to the fact that the minimum wage rises a little every year in the months of January and July. If you Google, you can always find the actual rates of the minimum wage. The rates are gross amounts. The net amount received by the employee will depend on the taxes and social insurance contributions deducted from their wage. No net wages are therefore prescribed by law. The last thing we say about minimal wages, the amounts you will find apply for a full working week. Usually this is 36, 38 or 40 hours per week. This depends on the sector in which you work and the possible collective bargaining agreements that apply to that sector. These collective agreements state how long a normal working week will last.
And Els, which minimum wages apply to employees subject to a work permit?
Yes, that's different too. Employers must apply for a work permit for employees from outside the EU. To get such a permit, the employer must pay at least the full minimum wage that is now subscribed to employees of 21 years and older. So even if the employee is younger than 21, you have to pay him or her the minimum wage of someone who is 21.
Okay, this was our first episode of the PCO podcast. Did you think it was informative and interesting? Then we hope you will listen to our next episode as well. If there is a specific topic you want to be informed about in this podcast, you can send us an email to companyonboarding@projob.nl and we will invite one of our experts in the network to share his or her expertise. The PCO podcast is hosted by Els Brouwer, Marieke Kramer and Esther Werneke from ProJob Company Onboarding. If you would like to listen to more PCO podcast episodes, please visit companyonboarding.nl.